Hello everyone and welcome to your Sagittarius reading for September 2020. I hope all you beautiful Sagittarius are doing well. And let's get right into your reading. Here we go. All right. Messages for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. Messages for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. What are the messages Sagittarius needs to hear for September 2020, please? What are the messages Sagittarius needs to hear for September 2020? Messages for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. Okay, I think things are getting ready here. Messages for Sagittarius for September 2020. Messages for Sagittarius for September 2020. Oh, they're getting anxious to come out already. All right, messages for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. All right, Sagittarius, your current situation. You have the King of Pentacles, not bad. Your challenge for September, the Knight of Swords. What you aspire to, how beautiful, the Four of Wands. What needs to be awakened within you is the Two of Cups. In your recent past, oh, we have the Sun. Let's hope that's in your future too. Coming up next stage, oh my goodness, Sagittarius, the Ace of Cups. And your outcome is, is the Nine of Wands. All right, well, don't you guys have an interesting reading here? Let's just see what we have. Okay. So, Sagittarius, your current situation is the King of Pentacles. Now, whether this is you or someone that perhaps you might be dealing with, this could be a boss, this could be, some sort of financial leader. This is somebody, but if this is you, this is indicating that you have like the Midas touch, right? When it comes to business and finances, you know what you're doing, and your focus is like a laser. And whatever you focus that laser on, it turns to gold, right? Success on many different levels when it comes to finances and stability and, being very grounded. So maybe you find yourself in a very abundant situation. And you find yourself very successful with almost any endeavor that you pursue. Alternatively, this could be somebody that you're dealing with who also represents all these same qualities. But either way, it's a good energy for a current situation, there's no question. So this is just a lot of safety and security and abundance around you. Maybe you might not feel that way. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have all these riches and you live in this big mansion and you fancy cars and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You can still be the King of Pentacles because it's just an energy. This can just be a feeling. You can feel wealthy and abundant and rich and stable without having those physical things that represent it, those materialistic things that represent that. It can also just be a state of being, right? But this is good. This is either way, whether you have it in the material sense or if it's just your state of mind. Good for you, really good for you. Your challenge for September, Sagittarius, we have the Knight of Swords. And, I'm getting the sense that there's something that you'd like to go after. There's something that you want to pursue. There's something that you want to take some action on. But maybe you're not sure if you should. Maybe there's, you might be kind of hesitant to take action. And the challenge is, will you take action or won't you take action towards something, right? Something that you believe in, something that you want to investigate, something that you want to pursue. This could have to do with a person too, right? Maybe there's somebody that you want to take action towards, right? You could be feeling very like you've got it all, right? Because the King of Pentacles has it all, right? But maybe there's something missing, right? Maybe you have it all and it's great, but you don't have a relationship, right? If you're single, maybe you want to take action perhaps towards somebody, because with the remaining cards here, that's kind of the sense that I'm getting. This action could also be that something you just need to take, something that you want to do for yourself. Maybe you want to take action towards that, but you're not, right? Or you've come up with a lot of excuses as to why you can't, right? Oh, because of this, I'm too busy with that, or this, or this. So whatever the case may be, whatever it is that there's something that you need to take action towards and you're not taking action towards it. So the challenge is going to be for you to see, hey, you know what, do it. Bing, bang, boom. Look how, if this is you, if this is your current situation, success didn't come. Success, wealth, abundance, stability, security, in not just the financial sectors, but in other sectors as well. That didn't come without taking action towards something, right? Obviously, you didn't just sit back on your couch, wake up one day, and poof, it was all there, right? So, whatever it is, do it. Don't be afraid, right? Because what you aspire to is the Four of Wands, right? Now, this can be a few different things. I look at this card, for me, this is very much a celebration card, right? Celebration, good times, a homecoming of sorts. And it's but it can also be like the marriage card, an engagement card, a happy home. This is people coming together and enjoying each other's company, friends, family, and a big celebration, right? It's a very joyous occasion. This is what you aspire to. This is maybe so. I feel like a lot of you maybe you want to get married, maybe you want to get engaged, but it hasn't happened yet. You have to meet the right person, of course. And you have to be okay with yourself, of course, at first too, right? Before you can really engage into any kind of activities with another person in any sort of relationship. But this is what you aspire to, that happiness, that joy, that celebration, that happy home, and to create a happy home, and a stable one at that, right? So this is your current situation. You can see the king's there. He's all on his own. He's got this nice big castle in the background. But, there's nobody else around him, right? He's just there by himself. What good is having all of this if you don't have anybody to share it with, right? But in this card, there's a couple right here. There's two people right here, and then in the background there's friends, there's family, and they're joining in with the celebrations, right? And the good times, and the camaraderie, and the stability that is going to be created within this home environment, right? And there's also another aspect to this card. It's if you've been seeing a lot of synchronicities lately in your life, right? 11:11 by chance, because if you see the Four Wands, the way that they are positioned, it does look like 11:11. So keep that in mind. If you happen to glance at the clock or your odometer in your car, or just you get a receipt from the store and bang, your total is 11:11. Keep that in mind, because that's amazing things manifesting for you and coming together, and you keep your focus on that, and that's exactly what you're going to get. So that's what you aspire to. What you need to awaken within you, this is what needs to awaken within you, is the Two of Cups. So this is a partnership. This is this can be a romantic relationship as well. I'm really getting the sense that there is. This is going to go two ways, but with this Four of Wands here, I'm really getting the sense that a lot of this, it has to do with a relationship, right? You've got the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Four of Wands, these are all, especially the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups, these very indicative of new relationships, right? And new romance and connection and founding a happy home and environment and a solid relationship to build upon. So what needs to be awakened within you, is this, whether this is a connection with yourself, because it can be a partnership with your inner self and your higher self, right? But it can also be in order to achieve this Four of Wands and the marriage and the love and the happiness and everything that comes with it, right? You have to have that partnership with somebody first, right? So this is either you having to open up to that and put yourself out there in some way, or take that action towards that person or that something, right? And this doesn't have to be, you have to actively pursue a person, right? This could even be just, actively pursuing your passions and interests that really make you happy, right? And in doing so, there's a good chance that you're going to end up, when you're doing those things that really drive you and that you really, really enjoy doing and bring you a lot of personal joy and fulfillment, when you do those activities and those things, likely that's when you're going to find somebody that you're going to connect with, right? Because they're going to, especially if they're doing the same thing, well, boom, then you have something in common right there, right? So, but this is asking you to awaken to this possibility, because this is a connection that you can't deny, right? These two people are sharing everything between each other, right? Love, compassion. They open up themselves to each other, and they both accept what each other has to offer. We all deserve, every single being on this planet, we all deserve this love. It's all available for us. We all have it within. And perhaps you just need to awaken to yours and, allow it to, not to take the lead necessarily, but allow it to help guide you, right? Because there is love out there that's for you, right? There is love out there for you, Sagittarius. And there's love there within you too. And, you just have to find where it is inside, and it's not always easy, right? It's definitely not easy to find love. There's no question about it. But awaken to the partnership that you have with yourself, and the more connected you are to yourself, and the more in tune you are with yourself, and the more you love yourself, the more that will be attracted towards you, right? And maybe you've been holding back a little bit, right? On a relationship. On finding somebody, because you don't want just anybody, and you're likely, what I'm getting here is if you're hesitant to take action towards something, you're likely done with the whole trying to date people, right? Especially if it's online or anything like that, because let's be honest, it's a shit show, right? I don't know too many people who have ever actually lasted from meeting online. Most of them, and even in my own experience, have just been utter disaster, right? It feels like a job interview. It's very tiring. It's exhausting, in fact, right? So, and if you're feeling that way and you're hesitant about taking action towards something that, even if you're not, it's always kind of be on your mind, but even if it's not like at the forefront, you're just doing things that make you happy. You may inadvertently meet somebody without, trying all that hard. But it's maybe you've been burned, maybe you just been down that road and I ain't doing it no more. But you still have to open up to it, because it's there and you desire it, right? We all want to be loved, we all want to give love, and it's very strong, and it never goes away, right? It never goes away unless you want to bury it, but that's always a personal choice, right? So it's not easy, but nevertheless, let's move on. So in your recent past, we have the Sun, and this is the most positive card in the deck. This is a wonderful energy. And perhaps maybe you were having a fantastic time. Maybe in the recent past you were having a great time with lots of communication, and you've been feeling really, really good about yourself and a sense of freedom, and like you've been liberated almost from something, maybe you were communicating a lot, and you were really feeling vibrant and really feeling really, really alive. And likely that, if it didn't last, right, that might be what's causing you to feel somewhat challenged when it comes to taking action towards something, right? Because, it's like this is like being on top of your game. This is feeling like you're on top of the world. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. And then if nothing happened as a result, like whatever you were, hoping to achieve from that, and you're feeling on top of the world, and then nothing happens, well, shit. Like, you kind of, you get a little bit somewhat deflated, all the gas comes out of the tank, and you feel like you got nothing left. So you're like, well, I'm not going to go through that again. I mean, I was all the way up here, and then all of a sudden, nothing happened. Like, give me a break, right? But if that's the case, I mean, don't worry, because you got a taste for this, right? And all you need is a taste of this energy, and to feel it coursing through your every cell in your body, and every vein and every artery, to know that you want this again, right? And that you can have it again, and you will get there again. And so here it is, your next step, right? The next stage is the Ace of Cups. Now, this is almost like it's unexpected. I'm feeling. I want to say it's like an unexpected surprise. That's just what's coming to me. This is an unexpected surprise, and whether you are actively pursuing something or not, you're taking action towards something, right? Like, you're going to overcome this challenge, right? Whatever keeping you in from taking action towards anything or getting out there and doing something, you're going to overcome that. I have all the confidence in the world, right? I mean, you had a taste for this, and you were feeling this, and even if you feel somewhat like a little bit burnt out, like you were shining so bright, and then all of a sudden you got a little bit dimmer, it's okay. Don't worry about that, right? Because you can always reignite your soul again. Like, it's not that difficult. It really isn't. And here along comes this surprise, right? Because I feel very strongly that this Ace of Cups, this is new beginning. This is new love. This is a new romantic relationship. This can also be a relationship with yourself, a new love that you find for yourself within, especially when this needs to be awakened within you, that partnership that you have within, right? Like, the way that you feel about yourself, the connection that you have to your higher self, that's a partnership, right? And there's a love there, because your soul loves you unconditionally, right? No matter what you do, whether you acknowledge it or not, it's always going to be there. It's always going to do whatever it can to help and support and serve you, right? And when you give that back, right, this can be the beginnings of that, right? This needs to be awakened, and you don't get to this stage right here where there's that sharing and that partnership without this first, right? So this is coming. Whether this is with yourself or this is with somebody new, it's coming, right? It's absolutely coming, because this is what's going to happen next, right? So maybe you meet somebody. Perhaps there is or you find you just become more connected to yourself in a way that you didn't imagine. Maybe you actually take the time to connect with yourself. Meditation, contemplation, get out, go for a walk in nature, right? Watch the sunset, stand by a body of water. If you're close to the ocean, by all means, connect with the water. It's unless you live in the northern areas, and then, like, yikes, it's still pretty cold. But nevertheless, it's something that is going to help, right? Anything that helps to connect you to yourself. And if you already have a strong connection with yourself, right, and you are actively searching for a relationship, there are signs here that and I think that's what most of you are hoping for. That's what I mean, especially with this being what you aspire to, right? I mean, who doesn't want this, right? Happiness, joy, celebration, marriage, engagement, right? We all do, myself included, right? And it's not always easy to find, right? Many of us, we're all on the search for it, whether we're actively pursuing it or not. Something that's always there, right? So this is what's next. And so something's going to happen. There's somebody new coming into your life. There's a new beginning in love, right? Whether this is love with yourself or with somebody new that you meet, right? And it's going to lead you to this awakening within you, right? Which ultimately leads you to what you aspire to, which is this, right? It's beautiful. It's so beautiful, right? It's love, it's compassion, it's sharing. It's like a bond with somebody that you can't break, and the fact that you have the Ace and the Two of Cups here and the Four of Wands, and even the Sun in your recent past. This was maybe there was an opportunity that was missed. Almost, I'm feeling, but not on your behalf. Somebody else missed out, right? And it's like the universe is coming in and saying, hey, I know you put yourself out there. I know you were feeling on top of your game. I know you were feeling burning as bright as you possibly can and feeling amazing. And, didn't quite work out. So the universe is coming in to say, hey, I got something for you. I have this gift for you. Because as you can see, I hope the sheer on here is not too nasty with the light, but this cup is being offered to you from seemingly out of nowhere, out of the clouds, from above, right? So this is being handed to you, saying, here, we got this. The universe has your back, right? And so something's going to happen, because I think you've wanted this for a long, long time. You've wanted the marriage, the engagement, the happy home, and the joy and celebration and fulfillment that comes with it. And it hasn't happened as of yet, right? And if you've got everything else, well, this is the one thing that's missing, right? If you're single and you've got everything else, this is what's missing, and it's coming, right? Because that's your next step. So don't be afraid to get out there and do things, and but not act. You don't necessarily have to actively pursue somebody, right? That's not always the case. But so your outcome, and it's interesting because it's like really it's interesting. So like this is the next stage. So some kind of new beginning, some kind of new start, especially when it comes to love and relationships, romantic relationships. And your outcome is the Nine of Wands. So really what this is your energy too, okay? This is fire sign energy, and you are Sagittarius, and the fire sign's energy is represented by wands and tarot. And this is you being guarded. You've got your walls up, you've got your boundaries up, you're like, okay, I've got everything that I know, right? And I've learned a lot of lessons. When this enters, when this new love enters and this new relationship enters, and it's like seemingly gifted to you from the universe, and it's amazing. Like it's beyond anything that you've ever felt before, you've ever experienced before. It's tremendous, and here it is. This is you now. And you're like, this is great, but whoa, right? You're like, you got your guard up. You're the wounded warrior. You're like, okay, this is cool, but it's almost like it's too good to be true, so you don't believe it and you don't trust it, right? And you've got your fences up, and you're like, okay, well, you stay on that side of the fence while I assess a few things here, and I'm not going to be letting nobody in until, I'm sure of a couple of things, right? Understandable. But this awakens this, and it leads to this, right? And it's okay to have your guard up. Really, it's to be expected, right? But you can have your guard up and still be open, because This also says, this Nine of Wands energy also says that you are ready, right? You're ready, and maybe you felt like you were ready back then and something didn't happen, so increases you, it just makes you all the more likely to have your guard up and be like, hey, you know what? I just went ahead and I was on top of the world, and, maybe you got burned, maybe you didn't, maybe just nothing happened, right? So it's going to cause you to have your guard up, especially when something like this seems to just walk into your life and is gifted to you in some, just like that, right? Out of nowhere, just out of nowhere. And you're going to have your guard up. And that's okay, but, what this really means, though, is that you're so close. You're so close to getting to getting what you want, right? So don't give up, right? Have your guard up. That's natural, right? I mean, you have to in this world, let's be honest, right? Because you never know what people's intentions truly are. So, but don't be too rigid, right? Don't be too rigid, Sagittarius, because love is waiting to come in. It's waiting there, and the universe is going to do you a solid. You're a quality individual. Like, really, you're amazing, right? You really are, because your current situation is the King of Pentacles. You don't get to be this unless you are amazing, right? So you are the divine love that is going to be offered to you, right? And this can be a soulmate connection too, right? This two of cups, right? So there's a lot of things that are, this is pretty amazing, actually. Let's see what we have at the bottom of the deck. And okay, so what did I literally just say about this? You're so close, right? You're so close, right? And this means this Nine of Wands it's a 9, so 10s are completion in tarot, right? And this is, you're so close to the end of that cycle and achieving, getting there, right? And look what we have at the bottom of the deck, but the 10 of Wands, right? More fire sign energy, and this is completion. This is this can be the like a heavy burden that you've carried for a long time, right? But it's it can also mean that you've been working really hard. And I mean, if you are the King of Pentacles, then yeah, chances are you have worked really hard. Nothing was just handed to you, right? But this is like, you've worked really hard and you've carried a burden and you've been trying to get there. You've been following your passions with all your drive and all your energy and all your enthusiasm. And, it bent your back, but it didn't break it, right? So as you can see, like, I mean, on this, he's on there and his back is bent, but it's not broken. And there's the home in the distance. You probably can't see it on this card from the distance, but he's almost there, right? It's been an uphill battle, and it's been a long time, right? And that's what I'm feeling like. This has been a long, drawn-out period for you, right? And it's been hard, right? It's been very hard, as indicated by this big, heavy load that he's carrying, right? But the good news is, 10s are completion. Like, if this is you almost being there, and this is your outcome of almost being there, this is being there. This is getting there, right? You reach the home, which looks like this one here almost, and you're able to put down this heavy load that you've been carrying, this burden, right? All this work that you've been doing, whether that's, at a career, whether that's on yourself, whether that's trying to, find love or what have you. Out of all the readings that I've done so far, and I'm 3/4 of the way through all the signs, this is the first one that's been really relationship related. The rest of them not so much. And I never know which way it's going to go, but this one's definitely having a relationship feel to it. Doesn't have to be for everybody, but it's this one that's kind of the dead giveaway, right? This 4 of Wands. So don't be afraid to go for it, right? Because that's what he's doing. See the knight? The knight's going directly towards that fence, right? So this could be somebody else coming towards you too, right? I'm just kind of getting that now. Your challenge could be someone's coming towards you, right? There's that Ace of Cups. Someone's coming towards you. Could be an air sign too, okay? The swords, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, right? And air signs are good for you, Sagittarius. You're a fire sign, and air feeds fire, right? So it's a very magnetic match. You need one another, right? But as you can see, the knight's rushing in, and you got this fence up. You got your guard up, right? Are you going to let him in? Him or her? Either way, it could be a man, could be a woman. Doesn't matter, right? But so that could be the challenge too. It might not be you taking the action. Maybe they're taking action. Maybe they want to come in. Maybe they want to come towards you, right? So keep your guard up, of course. Slow him down a little bit, because this is the fastest moving knight, right? And he goes for it, right? He's going for it. As you can see, he's charging full steam ahead, and he's not stopping. He'll stop at your fence, right? But so, and this is getting there, right? This ten of swords, or pardon me, 10 of wands. That's finally getting there, right? And you can put down that burden, and you can finally take that breather, right? You know, this, right? That love. If you're single, and I think many of you are, love's coming in, right? Don't be too rigid. Just be yourself, right? Be cautious, of course, but you know. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Moonology Oracle deck for you, and we'll see what Luna has to say, dear Sagittarius. All right, message for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. What is the message for Sagittarius for September 2020, please? What message do you have for Sagittarius for September 2020, please? What is the message for Sagittarius for September 2020? What does Sagittarius need to hear for September 2020, please? What is the message for Sagittarius for September 2020? I know you're willing to come, so let's just make sure. Message for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. Message for Sagittarius for September 2020, please. What is the message for Sagittarius for September 20? There we go. Okay, yeah. So, one other aspect that I did forget to mention about this is this isn't only just action, but this is communication, right? Swords represent communication. So this Knight of Swords is communication. So communication could also be coming towards you, right? Maybe you need to communicate as well, right? So your challenge could be to communicate. Maybe there's somebody out there that you've had your eye on, right? And you're like, bang, bang, boom, yes, you know, but you're not communicating with them, right? I'm not too sure how I missed that, but see, Luna always comes through. Thank you very much, Luna. She always comes through to make sure that all the necessary messages, you know, get out to who they need to get to. And so with this is communication, right? It can be communication. It can become fast communication too, but taking action can be communicating, right? Let's be honest. And of course, to no surprise, you have the new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. So, and Gemini is an air sign, and air signs are all about communication. So just another little tidbit, right? Like everything syncs here. It really does. Communication is key. So, and this can be you having your guard up against some communication, or even to offer it out, right? Whether it's coming in or it's going out, either way, right? Communication is key. So remember that for September, Sagittarius. Because really wonderful things want to come into your life, right? Really wonderful things. And completion of cycles, right? Something that you've been working very long and hard, something that's been a struggle for you, right? And new moon in Gemini, communication is key. It's beautiful. It is. Things are looking up there, Sagittarius. You know, you're doing well on your own, and you've been trying to achieve this for a long time, I think, right? But it's never felt right, or the opportunity never came along, or whatever the case might be for you, right? Maybe you've been working too hard, right? This can denote a heavy workload where you're always working, always working, always working. It's time to take some time for yourself. You deserve it. So remember, communication is key. Love wants to come in. Let it. All right, that'll do it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful September, Sagittarius. I love you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.